Okay, everyone, welcome to our fourth 2012 A2NewTech. I'm your host, Zach. You can find me working frequently at the Tech Brewery at my company, OLA. So for those of you not familiar with the format, basically we bring in 5 companies to pitch the audience for 5 minutes on their company, and then we do a 5-minute Q&A afterwards. The whole idea is that as entrepreneurs, each of us sort of has our individual area of expertise, and by sort of talking with each other and quizzing other people about areas we don't understand as well, or really pushing them to make sure they understand, these different aspects of the business model. As a community, we can go stronger. So enough with the theory. I do have one announcement before we start. Unfortunately, Doodlehope emailed me yesterday saying that they just changed their business model, and so regrettably they cannot present today. So actually we only have 4 companies. Yeah, so up first is Steve Jacobs from Velocity Data Centers.
I'm going to get a quick jump before he starts the timer. Real quick, in 5 minutes, we're going to talk about data centers. Software people, information people, data center, or data storage and all of that continues to grow at astronomical rates, and I'm going to show you a little bit of that. What we do, we focus on the physical infrastructure where all of that expensive IT equipment goes so that it lives in an environment that has the proper power and proper cooling. Yes, data centers have been around for a long time. We have a very different approach to how we solve this problem. So what we're going to talk about real quick, why we're doing it, how we do it, and then of course the QA at the end. So let's talk about Apple's data center in North Carolina, 10,000 server racks. $115,000 per rack, costs about $1 billion. Most companies I know don't have $1 billion to spend on their data center. But they still have similar requirements for the proper power and proper cooling for their server equipment. So this is one way you can go. You can build big boxes. This is the way the industry has been doing it for years and years. And for a lot of companies, fine, that works great. You can then say, well, I don't have that kind of money, so I can go rent space in someone else's big building. I can pay, rental, I can move in quickly. I'm going to be mixed in with a lot of other people who have similar needs. So, that maybe that works out for me. Think of it as an apartment complex. What we've said is no compromises. We're going to get you a robust structure to house that expensive IT equipment. It's going to be a private structure placed on your property that won't cost you anywhere near $115,000 per rack. So why do we do this? We're doing this because in 2010, Hadoop Common, if you're familiar with that in the open source world, 1.7 billion emails sent globally during my 5-minute presentation. Another number to care about, IBM Big Data, 2.5 quintillion bytes a day, or in the 5 minutes I'm going to talk, 8.6 quadrillion bytes of data. And of course, Geek.com did a report on YouTube during the 5 minutes I'm going to talk, 130 feature films worth of data uploaded to YouTube in 5 minutes. We're growing data at an astronomical rate. Private cloud infrastructure, incremental growth, big data. If anyone knows the Target story, I'm happy to play that later. And so here's how we do it. Take the next steps. What I'm looking for is I need to build awareness. There's a different, better, more economical, faster way of building data centers. We think we're onto something really big here. I was at an event today with lots of people in the data center industry, universities, hospitals, and so on and so forth, and we literally built the building you saw in that video in 77 days. 77 days, you've got a data center. Unheard of in the industry. For more than half as expensive as the number I gave you in the Apple example. So that was my 5 minutes. I came in a minute early, so we got an extra minute for Q&A. Yeah, lots of questions over here. Who's first?
So you build only greenfield data centers?
Greenfield, yep. Greenfield data center, right. So put in the foundation and we bring the rest of it and put it on the foundation.
So you can't fit into existing structures?
No, it's designed to be an outdoor standalone facility.
How do you solve the problems like network, redundant power, all that stuff? I mean, you can erect a building quickly, but there's a lot of other factors.
It gets into a whole, the question was about network and redundancy and so on. Network you're going to bring on your own because the customer needs to bring network. Redundancy, when you talk about data center facilities, gets into this whole thing about tier levels, tier 1 through tier 4, and that gets into whether or not your facility has extra components in case other components fail. Our solution to that is more data centers are better than more components. In a tier 3 design, for example, you might need 4 air conditioners, but you have to have 5. Well, that doesn't really help you if a tornado wipes out your building, right? What we're saying is instead of having 4 air conditioners and 1 spare, let's have 4 data centers and let's separate them by 10 or 20 miles so that that one tornado doesn't wipe me out. Question? Yep.
Physical security. That doesn't look like a bunker to me.
It's got a ballistics rating, UL 752 level 4, which is 30-6. It's got a hurricane rating, category 5 Saffir-Simpson hurricane rating, 300,000 pounds fully configured, and it's bolted to the foundation. It's a pretty robust building.
But in terms of security, what about smashing the door open?
Smashing the door open. 12 gauge steel with a ceramic panel on the inside. You can smash it all you want. And even if you get inside, what are you going to do with stuff inside? You're going to have to get it out of there. That takes time. By then, the security cameras have caught you, the fire suppression system knows something's going on, and the IT guys watching this thing are going to say, who's that guy in the building? They're going to get you before you get out of the building. Yep.
How do your customers justify the cost of their own data center versus the economy of scale?
How do they justify what now?
Well, why? So public clouds would be correct.
Public clouds,
How
yep.
do you defend against?
If you've ever been in a multi-tenant data center, I'll give you one quick story and that'll answer. The question was public cloud versus private cloud. This is perfect for private cloud. The story, you can look this up, March of 2011, New York Times, FBI investigated a company that was in a co-location center. They couldn't pinpoint the exact pieces of equipment that they wanted. They took the whole row. 12 companies left in the back of an FBI van. We're basically saying if you want to give up control and security to that third party, go right ahead. This isn't for everybody, but for people that have a lot, they care a lot about their data, engineering drawings, health records, financial services. They don't want to let that data be out of their touch. And you can do private cloud with this and have that control and security. Way in the back.
What's the reason of not putting the servers in just like a movable trailer parking it next to the building?
Snowplow guy goes across the parking lot, cuts it open like a tin can. You're not going to cut this open. That would be the container model that you see HP, Dell, APC, and those folks go after. I actually like their philosophies, but this form factor is so much better in terms of robust structure. You're not going to hit this with a snowplow and ruin it.
What's the capacity?
Capacity. What number do you want? There's a lot of ways I can do.
The smallest.
The smallest number? The footprint's the footprint. So what we talked about is kilowatts delivered to the IT floor. We can talk about amps. We can talk about racks. We can talk about servers. Maybe servers might be the best answer. Today we can put 408 servers in that one little building. If you want to do compute cores, for those of you doing research, 10,500 compute cores. That's your little Intel AMD based supercomputer right there. So and it was a heck of a lot less than what they're building on the Pfizer campus.
So when I build that with all those people that you're just talking about,
Yep.
do I have to build a new building or can I expand?
You need another building. Because it's pre-engineered, we know what the bill of materials are, we don't want to have to re-engineer. Just like you guys building software, you don't write brand new code every time somebody buys it. You just rinse and repeat over and over. So if you need more space, you buy another building.
All right, that's all the
Time's up.
time we have.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Okay, while we're getting set up, I just wanted to quickly thank our sponsors. There's basically two groups that are responsible for letting us be able to come together once a month and have this event. A2 Geeks is the umbrella organization for a lot of the cool events that are going on in Ann Arbor, surrounding both hackers, makers, entrepreneurs, that sort of thing. If you haven't heard of them, make sure you check it out, a2geeks.org. And also thank you to the Zell Learning Institute for letting us use this space this month. Okay, so up next is Matt from UpTo. And in particular, I'm really excited because this month we have a few presenters from kind of Southeast Michigan and the whole of the Midwest. And Matt is one of those. So take it away, Matt.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Matt Piccinato. I'm here to share with you an app that a team and I have been working on for the past couple months called UpTo. I'm a mobile developer. We have 3 others on the team. We have our CEO, designer, and a back-end guy. So what is UpTo? It is a future tense social calendar platform. It allows you to share events, it allows you to share with your friends and family pretty much what you're going to be up to. Sign into my account and take a look at what I've been up to. That works a little slow. So since UpTo is a social calendar platform, it works directly with your calendars that you use on your device. So right now it's pulled in my events from my local calendars that I have spread across Google, Exchange, and other different calendar platforms that Apple syncs with on iOS. So it's pulled in my friends' events, so I can immediately see what they're going to be up to in the next couple of days, next couple of months. We go about 90 days to 4 months out. As you can see, I had a meetup earlier today with Jerry at A2NewTech today. I'm able to go in and I have to share with my friends, family, pretty much everyone up to. People are able to come in and give it a thumbs up if they want. We're able to have conversations around different events that are coming up. And since it integrates with your calendar, and the calendar is kind of a private place, we take privacy pretty seriously and allow you to control who you share your events with through grouping. So you can set up, we set up the default groups of family, friends, and work. I've added the UpTo team, which is just my teammates, so I can share just specific events with them. So since it pulls in my events from my calendar, I can go take a look and see all the events that I have that I don't have shared, and I can quickly and easily share them with either all my groups or a particular group, and I can push them to Facebook and Twitter if I want to. So I'll just share this one right now to all groups. Ask for permission, and boom, it's shared. Now all my friends on UpTo can now see that I'm going to Rise and Design with Molly Holschlag. It's just simple, easy calendar sharing, calendar agnostic, so it doesn't matter which platform you're using, as long as it syncs with your phone, you can share those events with anyone that's on the network. Some cool features that we have, the calendar, which is it gives you a heat map view of how busy your network is. So like this right now is giving you a view of how busy everyone in my network is. But I can filter it down to maybe just my friends or just myself. I can see that I'm really not that busy all too much. I do a lot of stuff, but not too much of it's in my calendar right now. But I can navigate around with this view also. It's similar to the iOS calendar. Just that extra piece of data to see how busy you and your friends are. And that is UpTo.
I just have to say, that's really awesome. I really need the Google Android calendar in that way, so you guys are on the Android platform.
Yeah, we're on iOS right now. We're working on getting towards Android this summer. With that note, we are hiring iOS devs and Android devs. We're venture backed and we're down in Detroit.
Does anybody have any questions about the?
I downloaded UpTo today. I like it a lot. Good job. One of the things I loved about it is that you can get stuff into UpTo just by using your regular iPhone calendar. You don't have to deal with it at all. So I'm wondering, is there anything on the flip side of that where you can get notifications from UpTo without having to open the app?
Which kind of?
I'm just wondering, so say I have like close friends, will UpTo like beep at me or something and say, you know, so-and-so just added this event, it's coming up in one day?
We have activities. So in this version, the version that's available in the App Store, we don't have push notifications on yet. We're working on getting that out in the release, so that way you can turn on notifications for your network to see when someone has shared an event. Yes.
Any plans to monetize this?
Yeah, we do have some plans. A lot of it is, so the biggest plan that we have obviously revolves around advertisements. Since it's intent and users are directly communicating intent, we can, highly target, specific ads to them and what they're going to be doing. So if you're down Detroit for a Tigers game, chili, they could advertise to you, 20% off if you come in before the game.
So this feels very similar to Fancast, which obviously Mark abandoned. What's the difference here, and how do you feel that you're going to be able to succeed where Fancast didn't work?
So that's a good question. Mark posted a really helpful article on TechCrunch, the post-mortem of Plancast, and he discussed many points as where Plancast, tried to do things and where they kind of failed. And one point that he brings up is that they didn't have a direct integration with a set of events from a user already. One of the pain points we find is why we don't use other things like Facebook events or other calendar systems is that it's another calendar. It's another thing that we have to separate from our tool that we use daily. And that's where we're trying to succeed, and where Plancast kind of left off. They can go further and integrate with your existing set of data.
So I know you guys are in the midst of a small beta. Are there any sort of emerging use cases with UpTo? I know you talked a lot about features, but are you seeing families using this to coordinate schedules, or college students trying to figure out what to do Friday night or on the weekend, and that sort of thing?
Yeah. So my wife and I would use it a lot. We never knew what was going on. We'd always overschedule each other because we didn't share a calendar because she didn't use Google Calendar. She just used the one that came on her iPhone. I used Google Calendar. It sort of opened up a nice lens into each other's lives and what was going on that we really didn't know about before. And plus, we were able to have conversations like she shared right here. We have a date night coming up. So now I know we don't have a date.
30 minutes ago?
So
You're missing it.
yeah, I should actually go ahead. There.
Don't let anyone say that useful things don't happen at A2NewTech.
Yep.
Can you explain what you just did? So you were able to pull an event out of there and add it to your calendar?
Yeah, so this build, since I'm the mobile developer, my build's a little different than the App Store build. I just came in and you can tap and hold to add an event real quick, this little checkbox. In the one in the App Store, there's an add event button in the upper right corner. If you tap and hold that, it just throws it in your calendar right away. It doesn't share it automatically. It keeps it private, so in case there's something you didn't want to share, you can just come back into your feed, and if I can find it, I don't know which day it was. I could go back and I could share it later.
How many users do you have?
We currently have a couple thousand right now. We've only been launched for about a month or so, and we've seen some pretty good pickup here and there.
is this integration happening on the back end on a set of servers, or is it really
Yep.
happening more on a very distributed mobile to mobile?
Yeah, so everyone's, whenever you share an event, it goes up to our servers. We only take events that you decide to share. Everyone that's kept private stays locally on your device, and then we take those events that were shared and distribute it down to the different groups. So it just hits the API and brings it back down. So it's stored on our servers.
And it's your own back-end infrastructure?
Yep,
It's not
our own
sitting on-
back-end.
It's not sitting on top of
Nope.
a Google Calendar instance or something like that? Or
No, well, we use the your local calendar information to bring in your own events.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks so much. Okay. I think I saw Kyle walk in the back. He's sort of the I don't know. Maybe he can be promoted to a deputy assistant of A2NewTech. Kyle has kindly made a reservation for us at Pizza House following this event. And so if you want to continue the conversation either with any of the entrepreneurs who present tonight or with other entrepreneurial community members, of which I see a lot in the audience tonight, we're going to, after the presentations are done, we're going to head over to Pizza House for dinner. Okay, let's see here. Okay, now speaking of the general Midwest, greater Southeast Michigan area, I'm pleased to introduce BuyVite, who is from Toledo, Ohio, and so had a bit of a drive up to join us here today. So this is Brandy, Gwen, and Emily, and they're going to tell us about BuyVite.
Hi everyone, I'm Brandy. I'm the founder of BuyVite, and this is Emily and Gwen. And I'm going to try to pull up a live demo, but if we can't do that, I do have a slideshow. So let me just kind of adjust my screen a little bit, and they can fill you in on exactly why BuyVite is kind of important to you guys.
So by round of applause, how many of you have ever fronted the money for like a group vacation or like
How many of you have fronted money for going to a concert with a friend and nobody paid you back?
Or they paid you back in beer?
Round of applause. How many of you have bought a gift for a friend but nobody paid you back? BuyVite is a solution for you, and Brandy's going to give us a demo on how.
So we built BuyVite. We built BuyVite to actually solve a problem. And I'm going to hopefully walk you through a live demo.
Connection's a little slow.
Okay, here we go. So you can log in through Facebook or your BuyVite account, just like you normally would. And that will take you to a dashboard view of all the BuyVites you've created. So we will take it from the top with creating a new BuyVite. And what BuyVite essentially does is it is a group payment option. So it works well for the things that we just talked about. We have it broken down into a group purchase or a ticket purchase. Pending what you select, you get different fields. So the group purchase, we'll do that for the purpose of this demo. So we'll say, wedding gift for Gwen, for example. Estimated amount $500, and the deadline to contribute. So we keep it very flexible. And then I'm going to ask my friends to contribute to the transaction. So I'm going to contribute $250, and I'm going to ask for $250 from my husband, who probably won't pay. And then I can do a message to my friends. And then I can send BuyVite, so that someone will get an alert to their phone or to the email to come back to the site, sign up for the site, and it's as easy as getting out your debit card, your credit card, and contributing to the transaction. So unlike PayPal, WePay, those kind of things, you don't necessarily have to align your bank account with it. You don't have to go through a lot. I mean, the user interface is very simple to use. And let me continue with my demo. So for the purpose of the demo, I will contribute all $500, and I'm ready to go in on it. But before I do that, we do keep it, still flexible at this point in the process. We can add a friend, you can send another message. You can also see the deadline to contribute, how many days left, and the people you invite will get, progressive alerts. So I'm going to go ahead and go in on it. Now, we do house credit cards in a PCI compliant environment. I select my card. I contribute. And that'll bring me back to the dashboard, and I can see now I have all $500 that I requested. And now this is kind of what we have our IP wrapped around. This process right here, where it gives me the ability to generate a code, like an iTunes gift card code, that can be used as payment on another website, just like PayPal or Bill Me Later. So I have generated this code that's worth $500. I copy the code and I go ahead and redeem the code, and we have this kind of demo store set up. So I click on the store, as if I've gone through the process of adding a camera to the like a Best Buy counterpart, and I select BuyVite as a payment option. And oops, that's not the right one.
I don't even want to know.
Not that I was on the Move Clico website or anything. And I go ahead and I can make my transaction worth $500 to buy that camera with the collected funds. Now we're not live yet, but we have also added the functionality of being able to collect these individual funds. And now as a BuyVite kind of group payment organizer, I do have the ability to send the funds to my bank account as well. So we are going to offer that functionality. We'll be live in early May.
So just doing a search for share a bill. There's share a bill, split a bill. I think there's a few other services out there that are slightly similar. I'm wondering, how are you going to differentiate yourself from those? What are the different features?
Well, we have our IP. This is the difference. Those are peer-to-peer payment systems, so they do allow you to send money to someone else. Now, the difference with our system, and this is why we feel like it's a little more streamlined, is because we actually live in the cart. So we are actually a payment option versus share a bill. You're just requesting your friend to give you money, which you can accomplish that already through WePay and PayPal. But we're different, and we've been contacted by Dwala, we've been contacted by PayPal because of our API.
So what technical investment do you require of the stores? So do they hook up to your API, or do you give them some, library to use?
Exactly, yeah. They request a partnership, we generate their API key, and they integrate it. It's really simple, just like integrating PayPal.
Okay. And then are they then customers of you? What incentivizes them, I guess, to use your service?
Well, that's a good question. And we actually absorb the credit card fees, and then we ACH them the funds.
Okay.
So they are actually, we have a pay-per-click model too, so they don't have any really upfront costs, so they never pay for it unless somebody uses it.
Okay.
So just like PayPal.
So, sorry to jump in for a second. You just absorb those fees where money is disappearing. What's happening?
Well, we have if you notice through the process, we have what we call an administrative fee to actually use it. So it's 3.5% up to $10 to use it. But you never hit that $10 mark until you're contributing like $500. So really, the value is that you're not absorbing, renting a beach house on your credit card. So it's worth that $10 that you have to pay as a consumer.
Do you have any retailers who have said they would use this?
Yes, we do. That's been a challenge that we recognize with this kind of software, but it's also the value of the company as well. So we have talked to a lot of people, and we definitely have some partnership commitments that we will be kind of announcing in early May.
So and even if you can't dive into exactly who that is, can you tell us, are you talking like big box retailers, local merchants, somewhere in between, particular?
No, we're not really actually talking to a lot of local merchants just because, you know, we want to come out kind of strong. And so the people that we're talking to are, you know, fairly large e-commerce sites.
So you generally can't just turn a credit card purchase into cash without violating some kind of cardholder agreement, and they like to charge you a lot of money for doing that, and the terms are totally different. So how do you avoid that if you're just letting people ETF it to their account eventually?
Well, it's not cash necessarily. I mean, what we have our intellectual property wrapped around is just like an iTunes gift card. Code is not necessarily cash. So that's what we have our IP wrapped around. And our payment system, kind of the backbone of it is fully supported and built.
Right, but you said that the person who starts the group can get it deposited into their account.
Yes, yeah, we have the ability to ACH the funds to their account. Right,
so I could charge $30,000 on my card for your thing, and then ACH $30,000 and put $10 service fee into my account, right?
Essentially, yeah. But we are not. Are you asking if we're kind of a bank? Because we're supported. I mean, the network that we're built on top of is supported by a bank.
I think you need an API key, you need to sign as a vendor, there might be some sort of vetting process through that, right? That's sort of
Well,
so totally legal. Totally everything we're doing is legal. I mean, this is I mean, there's no offshore penalty.
So if I contribute some money and my friends don't contribute, can I request my money back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you never actually pay anything until the BuyVite code is fulfilled on a partner site or the funds are sent to your bank account.
I noticed the friend button when there's the send to friends. Is that do those friends need to be already registered with BuyVite as well? Are those people who are within that system, or can you send to people who are outside of BuyVite?
Well, just like eVite works, like even if you're not a member of eVite, you still get the alert. So it functions the same way, where you would get an email inviting you to come back to BuyVite and join. And it's a very simple process to join and then contribute money to whatever your friend is requesting.
So you basically I couldn't remember the screen, so you basically just put in an email address and that sends out?
Yeah, you put in your email, your name, first name, last name, email, and your account number.
And a quick follow-up, it makes me think that I see lots of applications for this. Do you have any plans for adding functionality, like communication functionality? I'm imagining like my friend sends me a thing from BuyVite saying, hey, you owe $200 for the cottage for the weekend, and I want to say, all right, well, where are the pictures? Or here's the cottage I want the money to go towards. Do you have plans for any sort of more interaction?
Yeah, we absolutely do.
Or here's what we want here's ideas for the wedding gift or that sort of thing?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, we're very much seeing this as kind of tip of the iceberg with what we can do with this, for sure. So this is version 1.0.
I know there's lots of other great questions, but I do have to cut it off there. We can either continue the discussion here afterwards or over at Pizza House. Thanks again for coming in to present. We're going to have someone bring it back home. I think Steve Fentriss is one of those people that finds Ann Arbor. But before he totally rocks the house out, are there any community announcements that people have, entrepreneur events that are coming up, meetups that are coming up, that sort of thing?
Yeah, A2 Geeks Tour is Saturday. Recellular, the world's largest recycler of cell phones, right here in Washtenaw County.
Yeah, so once a month, A2 Geeks organizes a tour to some geeky location. For information, go to a2geektour.org.
Yes.
Brian told me to make sure to announce that. Any other entrepreneurial events that are going on? I know that with students leaving town, it's sort of a lull coming up. Anything from Empowered or nope, they're all graduating. All right, cool. All right, well, it's my pleasure to announce Steve, who ostensibly is talking about YT Radio, will be doing something else in the weekend. Yeah. Anyway, Steve.
at me. All you technologists and freaks, get it on, send it on. Talk about my website right now, and on here we go.
Okay, I just had to do that. All right, that has nothing to do with my presentation, except for the fact that we're going to be talking about music. Uh-oh. Hey, Steve. Switch that over. Where's that? I just need Firefox. Yeah, he needs a Firefox. All right. I'm supposed to be a tech guy, but I don't know how this works. Okay, perfect. YouTube. So what I'm doing is I have a website that I'd like you guys to check out called ytradio.com, and it does pretty much what you'd expect with a name like YT Radio. We turn YouTube into one giant radio station. Ta-da! So I understand this could be a little loud, but why not? Here we go. Now, this works like a live station. So if you tune on in the middle of a song, it's in the middle of the song. I think we just caught the end of Lady Antebellum there. Who wants me to turn it off by round of applause? We have the volume control. I do not have a skip feature, but you can always click on the video to pause it. Now the highlight of it, which it'll take a little while. It'll take a while to get there. This will probably happen while I'm talking, while you're answering a question. But the best thing about it is when the song is done, it goes to the next song. So the idea of this is that there are music videos, but usually they are audio videos or lyric videos. The idea is... Okay, I'm sorry.
You turn it way down so we can hear you.
Way louder out there than it is to me up here. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, the idea of this is to listen, not really to watch videos. We try to select lyric videos or music intensive videos. Sometimes, if it's a really good song, you know, we have to deal with just the music video. But this is not an MTV model. The idea is you turn this on, you might watch one video, but basically you leave it open in a browser tab and just listen to it while you work. That's all there is to it. There's not much else to explain, so I'm going to open it up right now for questions. Yes?
How are the videos selected?
How are the videos selected? Right now, it's been mostly me building up a large database of songs, but I have some close friends who are, you know, acting as DJs. Our goal is to have it done by real DJ types. If I could get a world-class DJ to do it right now, I would. As I don't have that yet, we've just got a database of songs and a method for putting them into a day's playlist. Yeah.
So I think one of the reasons why people really like Spotify is they can turn on radio and skip through as many songs as they want.
Yes.
Are you going to include a feature like that, or do you think that there's some value to listening, kind of coming into the middle of a song, or not being able to skip?
That's a very good question. He asked, you know, one of the things people like about Spotify or perhaps Pandora is skipping songs, maybe getting to pick your own music. I suppose something I enjoy about this is the simplicity. It's, you just turn it on, you listen like a radio station. It's got that shared experience of what are these guys doing today. So this is not supposed to be a next big thing scale through, you know, a 500 million users sort of epic idea. This is just, if you like this kind of music, tune in and we're going to keep it playing for you. Yeah?
Are there multiple stations with different genres, or is it just one that you're choosing?
Presently just one. If I can get enough people interested in listening to this, if I see some traffic grow, then I have a reason to build a second channel. So I'll be seeking user input. You know, what should I do next? Do you like blues? Do you like classical? Something like that. Don't let me ignore this half of the room. But yes, Zach.
There's one reason why this is drastically different from a radio station, and that's that you can like pause the video, or you can get out of sync with like whatever other people are listening to right now. Are you hoping to have any sort of concept of like, you know, someone live DJing and everyone listening to the song at the same time, or there's really no way to stop the user from pausing it, or just, you know, kind of jump to the point of the playlist, that sort of thing?
Zach asked a good question. So it's live-ish, but obviously it's not really radio. So how do you deal with the fact that users can pause? The way it works is, yes, you can pause the video, but at the end of whatever video you get, it says, okay, I'm done with the video, and it asks the server, what's the next video? If you're just listening, it'll transition very smoothly like it just did, and it'll go song to song. If you pause something for a while, chances are you're going to come in at the middle of a song, but the idea is to get you back on track so it's as much like live radio as possible. Yes?
Yeah, have you thought about crowdsourcing, like, the next song? So perhaps have a queue of possible videos and have people upload or download so you don't have to manage that yourself.
That is exactly why I came to A2NewTech. Hoping somebody would have a cool idea like that. I love that. I've thought there's so many things that crowdsource songs, right? Oh, we all listen to all these songs. What do you like? What are your friends like? What if there was just sort of a spectacle of, we're going to add one more song to the rotation.
It's like turntable.
What's it going to be? I have to check that out. Adam, what's up? Hi.
So, questions about the YouTube ads. Are you selecting videos that are you only selecting videos that don't have ads in them? Is that how we're avoiding this? Or
what I found out,
pop-up ads, but the ones that block you before you start watching.
He's talking about what I believe YouTube calls the true view or in-view something ad. It's just like a TV commercial. It interrupts you for 15 or 30 seconds, and then you get to watch your video. Interestingly, I just haven't encountered one yet. Apparently, if you embed the video, which is what I'm doing here, it just kind of doesn't do that, and it serves up the text ad.
Because you're totally screwing up people's revenue model by doing this. I wonder if, you know, if you ever got to a point where you were on their radar, if they might not try to switch this.
So Adam brings up a really interesting point, the revenue model. How are these artists going to get paid? How is YouTube going to get paid? And who am I screwing here? The answer is really nobody, because first of all, it's up to YouTube how they're going to serve ads in embedded videos. Yeah, it's possible they could just decide we don't want someone embedding this many videos and shut me down. We'll see what happens. But I feel like it's, you know, if they want to put ads in there, I'm not stopping them. I believe the ads should be run. I believe that people worked hard to make this music and this content, so you should be paid. You should get to run your ads. That's been part of radio for a long time. So as long as I can squeeze in maybe a couple ads of my own, I could monetize it. But really, I've got nothing to hide here. I'm just making them play constantly, because that's what we want. We want to listen. Yes?
Have you ever thought about, let's say I go on this website and I'm only going to be listening, but I don't have no option of picking what kind of music genre, putting something on the bottom saying only hip hop videos or rock, alternative rock, all of it, just click on.
I like that a lot. He's asking, what if I don't want to hear this?
I can't be listening to 1,000 Yankees.
I feel you, man. Yeah, he's saying, what if you want to change the genre? I'm saying, I agree with you. I got to work on it, because I started off with this stuff just because it's popular. It's called pop music because a lot of people like it. But not everyone likes it. I'm sure some people in this room would hear, we have a Lady Gaga song in the rotation. Some people love her, some people make them puke. So yeah, more genres are on the way, but it'll take me a while to build up the usership before I can justify doing that. And I think my time is up.
Yeah, unfortunately that's all the time we have for questions. Thank you guys all for coming. I think people generally stick around for a little bit if you have more questions you want to ask in person. And then of course before too long we're going to head over to Pizza House. So thanks again.